Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Welcome to the Tennessee Nate radio station channel where we do all kinds of stuff. You'll enjoy the channel if you go to it and like and subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. We need 50 subscribers to go live, so please hit that subscribe button. Give us some love on the new channel. We do all kinds of things. I'm starting to do dad jokes, so check those out. I done 3 yesterday, and I done about 4 or 5 the day before that. So be sure to check those out. They're really funny. I got a good reaction on dad jokes and doing dad jokes and stuff. We do country music, we do rock and roll music, we do scenic driving like we're doing right now. Today what we're going to talk about though is some things that's going on right now. I want to shout out to the Down syndrome community, people who's got Down syndrome and all that. I love Down syndrome people. I used to work in the medical profession, driver, ambulance driver and stuff, and I've dealt with a lot of people and knew a lot of people with Down syndrome, and they are a blessing in this world. Some of the sweetest people that you'd ever meet. They give joy all the time. They're always happy. I know somebody who's got one, a little Down syndrome boy right now, and they just light up the world every day, you know. So friendly, so nice. Just don't take nothing to get them to smile and laugh, and just cute little beings. You know, one of the best humans that you ever would meet would have Down syndrome. You know, they're just good people. But anyway, what I'm going to talk about right now is Jesse Ridgeway and Ashley, the couple who just terminated their 21-week-old baby in the womb. Which, you know, that's a bad thing. I'm telling you, that baby had to suffer. I hate to report on something like this, but I just wanted everybody to know that that's wrong. That baby had a choice. You know, you as a parent, you've got the duty to protect your children against anything. You're their protector, and for them not to allow their baby to even have a chance at life, it angers me. They're going to think about this. They might not think about it right now, but down the road, they will be thinking about this decision, and that baby will be in their mind. You know that it will. That baby will, they'll be saying to themselves, what if it had been normal? What if it hadn't had Down syndrome? What if we had went through and had this child, and for this child to love us and for us to love this child? Down syndrome is not a death sentence. You should not look at a child and say, okay, it's going to have Down syndrome, or it might have Down syndrome, I'm going to abort this baby. No, you should never abort a life. You should always give that baby every chance, especially at 21 weeks in the womb. It's a fully developed baby. That baby could have lived outside the mother's womb and been a premature baby, but it would have still lived. So at that point, it is a baby. It's not just a clump of cells like Jesse said. He said it's just a clump of cells. It's just a malfunction. It's just a glitch. It's what he called his child, a glitch. How in the world could you be so disheartened, disingenuous like that, to call a child a glitch or a clump of cells? He didn't even treat it like it was a human being. That is wrong, everybody. I'm a new channel and I don't have much of a following yet, but I just wanted to get this out there and say what I felt. I couldn't believe it when I saw this a day ago. And I don't follow Jesse Ridgeway. I never did follow his channel, McJugger Nuggets or whatever. And I would suggest everybody unsubscribe and give him the cold shoulder and let his channel sink. That's what I think. I think the backlash should be real. Can he get forgiveness in God's eyes? Yes. But can he get forgiveness in his own heart? That's going to be the main thing. You know, how can a mother and father live with that decision to terminate a child like that? I don't understand it. How you could wake up in the morning and think that you're going to be in good standing with the people. And now he's saying, oh, he's got to keep a gun by his bedside because he's afraid of the backlash. He's afraid of the people, you know. You're afraid of the wrong thing. You should be more afraid of God up above, what he's going to think and what you're going to do when you face your wrath, when you are judged by him, if you don't change your ways. You know, that's the big question. That's the big thing that he should be worried about. He shouldn't be worried about anybody on earth. I don't think anybody on earth is going to do anything to you. You know, you're all right from people on earth, but I don't condone death threats either. You know, that shouldn't be happening. It's their choice to do what they did, but they made the wrong choice. You know, I don't think that death threats is the way to go. You know, just tell them that they need to find God and they need to seek Jesus and they need to get right and be sorry for what they did. You know, they cared more about their dog than they did about this child, which is what's so sad about the situation. See, they had a dog that was had terminal kidney failure, and they fought for that dog for over a year, and it still passed away and, you know, went on to heaven. But they cared more about that animal than they did about their own son. That's sad, in my opinion. Now, usually I don't talk about stuff like this. That's brings you down. I try to keep my channel on the up and up and bring it on the platform of being good. But I've got so much faith. I'm a believer of God. I love Jesus Christ. I love God, and I just had to say my opinion on this. I have, like I said, some of the best people I've ever known had Down syndrome, and I just can't believe that somebody would make a decision to end a pregnancy at 21 weeks just because of a diagnosis like this. And it was on the phone. It wasn't even a 100% diagnosis. So, you know, people have had this and it's been wrong many times, and the baby turned out perfectly fine. Nothing wrong at all. That's no excuse to end a child's life. That's all I got to say about it. That's all you can say about it. I believe in God. I'm not for abortion unless it's absolutely necessary to save the mother's life. But there was nothing wrong with that child. The baby was not dying. The mother was not dying. They just terminated that pregnancy because of that it was a burden to them. That child was going to be a burden, and they only was thinking about themselves. That is a shame. I just can't believe how thoughtless and just thinking about yourself that you can be. And now you put this out. They put this out in the open. They edited the video and then decided to hit upload and put it out on the internet for everybody to see. And then they're going to tell us that they've seen the darkest in humanity because of the people who don't want to kill children with Down syndrome? Are you kidding me? You actually are calling us the darkest of society. You, Jesse, are the darkest of society. You're the one that just murdered your unborn 21-week-old baby, and they had to put forceps up in there, and they had to tear that baby limb from limb, leg first, pull a leg out, then pull another leg out, then pull an arm off, crush the baby's skull with those things and pull the brain out bit by bit. You're telling me that we're the darkest, but you just did that to your unborn baby. Shame on you, Jesse Ridgeway. I shouldn't even say your name. Your name ain't even worth saying anymore. Your channel's been on the decline for a long time, and I hope it continues to plummet. I hope you see this. I really do. I want you to know how everybody feels about you and how I feel about you. You have went from being pretty much disliked to now you are one of the most hated couples on the earth right now because you decided to put this out as public, and you shouldn't have done that. You're going to find out the wrath of the people, and when you go and put down something like this that's this controversial, and you got this many people out there who have the problem of being, Down syndrome, you knew that this was going to have backlash. You just didn't know how bad it was going to be. That's my opinion on it. I can't say it enough. I despise anybody who would do something like this just because it would be an inconvenience to you. Shame on you. But anyway, what do you all think about this? Leave it in the comments below. Let me know how you feel. Everybody chime in. We got to keep this alive. We got to keep the awareness up because these lives do matter. People that have, just because that baby was not going to be perfect in their eyes, did not mean it deserved to be ripped apart and torn apart and murdered. That's my opinion, and that's the way I feel. And I wanted to say the way I feel. Can't believe it. I never would have dreamed. I mean, I knew Jesse was self-centered and loved money and the fame and the stuff like that. But I never would have dreamed that he would have made a decision like this. You know, maybe it's the best thing that you don't even never have a child. But the bad thing about it is they even said that they're going to try again and hopefully get a better result next time. What the heck? You had the perfect result already. That child was precious in God's eyes. And he deserved to live. But anyway, that's my rant on the subject. I want to focus on the weather right now. We're getting ready to have a storm coming in. It'll get ready to rain a little bit, but man, I get angry every time I see anything about and see his picture or his wife's picture. Even her mother and father have chimed in, and they're against Jesse. They said that he is abusive to her. Oh, beautiful! Look at another beautiful car pulled in right in front of us. We've had classic cars all over the place here in the past few days. But even her mother and father came in and said that he was abusive to her. He was very controlling, and she should get away from him as soon as possible. That's what her own mother said. So I believe it, you know. But anyway, look at that beautiful old 442. 60, that's probably a 70 model. But it's pretty. I love them. But we got another car. Yeah, it's a 1971. Yeah, I see on the tag. I knew it was a 70 or 71. But that's a beautiful color, too. I love that color on that car, and I love those wheels. Beautiful. But anyway, it's got Cooper Cobras on it. I used to have them on my Ford Ranger truck. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Enjoy the car as we pull out. And shame on you, Jesse Ridgeway. You have done something that's going to have backlash against you for a while. And hopefully nobody ever forgets what you've done. I know one person who will never forget what you've done, and that's the good Lord Jesus Christ. He is always going to remember this. And he knows you took a precious being away from God. And you're gonna remember it. I get to about to cry every time I see a precious Down syndrome child. They're so precious. All life is precious, but they're even more precious and more sweet than any other person that's ever been, you know. They're God's children. Every child's God's children, but they're the chosen God's children for sure, you know, because they're so innocent and sweet. But anyway, everybody, pray for them. I pray for them that they get right and learn from what they've done. I don't hold nothing against anybody. I'm just shocked at the way humans can be. And I wish abortion was not a thing unless that the child was in danger or the mother was in danger of passing away. That should be the only reason that you abort a baby. Not for a medical condition or trouble in the future. That should never be an excuse to take a life. But that's my opinion, and that's God's way, you know. But God bless everybody in here. Thank y'all for watching and listening to what I had to say. And y'all have a good one. God loves you, and so do I. God bless every one of us.